That's
You're
what I
always
do, right?
challenging
I
me.
keep you
Yes.
challenged.
Yes.
So on
You're
your progress,
making me a millennial.
I'm keeping you progressive. That's all.
Yes. Yes.
On your one sheet, it's called your progress update sheet.
Yes.
So I went in and put in your measurements from January and from February, the ones that
Right.
you
I saw that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we wanted to go back and find your oldest possible measurements. Did you do that?
2007.
Okay, 2007. I'm writing that down. What was
Yep.
your weight?
It was actually May 1st of 2007. My weight was 279.6.
Okay. So that's like 80 pounds down, Patti.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
And then what measurements did you have?
I have my waist at 52 and my hips at 60.
So waist, let's see, what was your last one here? I have 3/9, so March 9th, waist was 41.5. So that's over 10 inches just on your waist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hips, I have 50.75. So that's 10 inches on your hips too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's just 20 inches, just hips and waist. Forget about arms and chest and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
How does it
amazing
feel?
how long I was on this, isn't it?
But look at where you are now.
I know, right? Like I said, it's all like we've all dieted, we've all eaten this way, you know?
So Patti, when you first started, like your very first diet, what was your goal? Do you remember?
To lose weight because I was so fat.
Do you remember where you started?
Oh my gosh, Nicole, I remember going back years, I mean, as a child. So I was in probably my teens when I started doing this. So, I mean, I've been on this a good 30 years. It's crazy.
You started dieting as a teenager.
Yes.
So weight has been a struggle pretty much your whole life.
Yes. Yes.
Do you
My
remember?
my aunt used to make my uniforms. I went to St. Joe, so she would have to make my uniforms for me. So I had something to wear to school.
I remember you sharing that with me. Do you remember like your heaviest weight, Patti? Like what that was? Did you weigh in ever at that time in your life?
I'm not sure that I did. I'm sure I did, but I never tracked it like I did as I got older.
Yeah.
The highest weight I remember weighing in at the doctor's office was 315 pounds.
And what was your most recent weigh-in?
My most recent weigh-in was, I think, 205.
So 110 pounds down?
Yes. Yeah. It's been a long journey.
Well, you were just saying as a teenager, so it has been decades for you. And I know in that span of time, you've tried a lot of things. And I know you've shared with me that most of them haven't been helpful long term. So what are some of the things you tried that were not helpful? Like they just didn't produce lasting results for you?
Well, as a child, my dad sold some kind of powder stuff that we used to mix in water or whatever and drink. That was nasty tasting. I also did the cabbage patch diet. The anything you could drink or eat, you know. And I've done Weight Watchers. I've done Biggest Loser. I've done all kinds of whatever came up the road, diet pills. You used to think it was just so you could stay awake to work midnight shift. As a young person, get more energy.
And none of that stuff really lasted for you or worked for you longer term?
No, not at all. It's like everything else. They run it, you're in it for 30 days, maybe 3 months at the longest, and then all of a sudden you're off and it's time to treat yourself. It's not sustainable learning good habits as you go and breaking it down into what you really need. You know, I'm a diabetic, so they always separated vegetables from carbohydrates. Like you can have your pasta or whatever, but then for dessert, if you want, you can have an orange or an apple. So they classified them separate. So now you're getting double the sugar that you shouldn't be. So it's a learning process. I do a lot of reading too, besides picking my coach's brain.
I know learning that fruit was a carbohydrate was really important for you. And I know a lot of people share the same thing. Like, what? I've always been taught that more fruit and more vegetables is good, which they're not bad for you. But as a diabetic, you want to be mindful of your insulin and your glucose. So it was a really big eye-opening experiment for us to play around with. Well, what happens if we don't have fruit in addition to a carb and we swap that out for a veggie instead?
Yeah.
So Patti, tell me, you're the OG, the original nutrition coaching client. You believed in the process when it first started over 3 years ago, and here you are today. So tell me how the nutrition coaching experience, the one-on-one coaching experience, has been different for you compared to those diets that you've done historically.
One, I like to learn. I like to be educated. Just picking up the habits, like eating slowly. Who does that? I come from a family of 5, and it was the saying in our house was, the one that eats the fastest gets the mostest. That's what my father always said. And like, I could be done with a meal in 10 minutes and be full and overstuffed and really feel like crap. So now it's the paying more attention. Oh, I don't need any more. Slowing down was the hardest, I think, for myself. And because I have a clock on my tablet to time me. And then the other one was the 80% full, because when you're used to overeating all the time for whatever reason, or snacking, that was my big thing, snacking at night. Ooh, my closet eater.
And I think what you're talking about, Patti, is like the mindful component of nutrition. So previously, and most diets give you like lists of eat this, don't eat that. Take all the bad stuff out of your diet and only eat this. And with coaching, we've taught you how to listen to your body and eat when you're hungry and stop when you're satisfied. And that's been different for you.
Right.
So if someone was struggling and they had a weight loss goal and they've tried tons of diets before, like yourself, they've tried them all, they've yo-yoed, they've gone to the gym, they've failed, what would you tell them? Like, what advice would you give that person?
That you have to do your research. Don't listen to everybody out there. Portion size is everything to make sure you're getting the right proteins. The veggies are almost unlimited. Your fats, and peanut butter is not a protein. And our carbohydrates, smart carbs. Like I love trying different smart carbs and roasting them. I can't wait for it to get nice out to grill them now. Yummy. It's going to probably give it a whole different taste. And that fruits are carbohydrates. There are smart carbs, and just take it one day at a time.
And I think too, Patti, we've gotten away from preventative care. So everybody's worried about losing 10, 100 pounds, whatever it is, but are we considering health too? So you and we've been on this massive weight loss journey, which has been amazing. But above all, we keep health at the forefront of our mind. So are you feeling good? Are your blood sugars where they need to be? And then what physical progress are you making? So I think combining health with body composition, sometimes we miss the mark, but you've been doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
So Patti, final question. Obviously, you have invested in coaching for several years now. You could have done this all on your own, but you've chosen to have accountability, right? So would you recommend nutrition coaching with Nicole, where you have a one-on-one relationship with a coach who knows your story and knows your goals? Would you recommend that to someone else?
Oh my God, absolutely. I actually think, Nicole, you're the best I've ever seen. And it's not because I like you. It's the truth. You know what I mean? You have to look at your options. If you've never been out there and adventured anywhere, you haven't done any research, nothing. You're looking at your skinny, excuse my language, skinny friends who can eat all they want. And you're like, why can't I do that? You know? And I've done that for many, many years. And it's like, I guess it's just not meant to be. Like, I have to concentrate more on it. And one-on-one coaching did it. When you have the best person on your side who's picking your brain and challenging you and actually learning as you go, because maybe what I know you never heard of, and we can research it and do everything together. And at first I thought, like, one-on-one, I needed to see you and sit beside you. Now I've come into the millennial and we're doing it online.
Yes, you've been so flexible as the business moved from in-person to remote coaching, and you're still getting amazing results. So clearly,
Yes, I am.
on
Yes.
video doesn't affect the value, right?
No, it doesn't.
So Patti, I just want to say thank you for being one of the original nutrition coaching clients. It's completely my pleasure to work with you and help you reach and exceed your goals. Did you ever think you'd be here?
No, I didn't. No.